So I am walking down to the clubhouse because there is an event going on tonight, which I did last month, but I did not record. So this month I thought I'd take you guys down there with me and show you what we're doing. It is called Sip and Paint, and it's down in the clubhouse. You get to go paint, you bring something to drink, and you just kind of make friends. And so I did it last month. Like I said, it was super fun. So tonight I thought I'd show you guys what it's all about. Okay, so today we are running into Sam's Club. We get people commenting and questioning all the time on the channel. Hey, what about doing meals or meal prep, that kind of thing. And so I told Kevin, as we venture out into our next loop, I wanted to do more of what we do for meals. And so I'm going to start off today by just showing you what we shop for as far as when we stock up. So we're going to go into Sam's and we'll go from there.
So before the grocery shopping ever begins, Lareka always hits the clothing section, and Lord help me, she found shoes on sale.
We'll start in the meats. We've done both. They have these prime rib beef, so you can either do the pull patties or the sliders. We've learned that we like to do the sliders because you can get several meals out of them. And we do these with buns, without buns, the whole 9 yards. So we're going to definitely get these today. Okay, so another must for us is chicken. We're big on chicken in our house. So I'm going to get the, what is it? Flat chicken? I don't know what this is. But anyway, the big thing. And I'll show you how I divide all that. But yes, chicken is a must in our house for sure. Okay, another big thing in the house is the ground turkey. We do lots with ground turkey. And so we're going to pick, it comes in chicken. We're going to pick this up today and we'll show you how we use this as well. Okay, this is another one we love from Sam's. It's a little bit better for you. But these Just Bare chicken bites, I love to stick them in the air fryer. They're great on travel days, light lunches. We'll put them on a salad and go from there. Easy meal when you haven't taken something out. So we definitely keep these in the freezer. Okay, so being out of the RV for a month, we ended up taking all of our food over to the Airbnb because obviously the power wasn't going to be on for the refrigerator. But we had kind of said we're not going to do a whole lot of shopping while we're there. We're going to use what we have so we can just bring the bare minimum back and then start fresh. So that's what we did. And the refrigerator was pretty bare. So yesterday we had gone to a farmer's market and picked up a ton of fresh fruit and vegetables. Apples, strawberries, grapes, mushrooms. I think we got some cabbage and bean sprouts, beets, all kinds of things. So we did all of that yesterday. And then today we ran to Sam's and did the rest of our meats and cheeses and different things like that. We got eggs. So I'm just restocking and rearranging to fit everything in so we can get this refrigerator packed in again. Okay, so today I am going to divide our meat that we bought at Sam's Club, and that way I can freeze it and take out what we need as we go. So what I've done is I've taken just Ziploc freezer bags. And these are, I usually do the quart because I'm not making a ton, so we're storing it in different kind of smaller bags. That way we can make room in the freezer. So I've just labeled them all with the date and what they are. So I have like my ground turkey, my mini burgers, and then the chicken breast. And I just do that all ahead of time because I'm going to use my hands now to separate all the meat. Okay, so like for my turkey, you get 2-pound containers. And so I just divide it in half. So then you have what did I say this was? This was a pound?
2 pounds. So a pound.
Oh, 2 pounds. Okay, so you get 2 2-pound containers. And I just divide it in half. So I'm not weighing anything or doing anything like that. But I figure about a pound in each Ziploc. And we use this for all kinds of stuff. And depending if we want more or we want leftovers, I will either grab a bag or 2 bags. Usually it's a bag, but sometimes it's 2 bags, especially if I want to make like chili and I want extra. So I do that. So the turkey's pretty easy. So for our mini burgers, I do 4 in a bag, with 1 bag having 6, or you can do 2 bags having 5. It just depends on what you like. When I use the one that has a 6, I just plan for leftovers that we can have like for a lunch or something. And so yeah, I just take them. They're pretty easy because they're already sectioned, and I just do that. It makes it really nice and easy. And we do a couple meals with this as well, but mostly just burgers, but just different ways. So you can grill them, you can do all kinds of things. So last but not least, we're gonna do our chicken breast, which is my least favorite to do. Just because for me it entails a little bit more work. Again, you can divide these. Sometimes I would divide in 3 pieces, sometimes 2. Most of the time it's 2. And then if I'm going to do like a chicken chili or a fiesta type chicken, I'll just grab 2 bags because I want extra. But I find 2 is the easiest. But if you want extra, like for the next day or whatever, you're doing a salad or whatnot, then I would do 3 or 4. It really just depends on how you're going to use them. And so we will do them in things of 2, and I really trim our chicken breasts. I like to have it all done, ready to go in the baggies. So I don't do any marinades in the bags. I know you can, and you can freeze them, but I do not. I usually take them out, let them thaw, and then do the marinade. So now I'm gonna do my favorite part, which is not my favorite part. Okay, so everything is bagged, dated. The other thing I was going to say is if you, on the chicken, sometimes with the chicken breast, I'll mark if there's 3, just so I know it's a bigger bag. Sometimes it's hard to tell. It kind of all goes together. I also like to butterfly our chicken breast because sometimes they come really thick. So I will butterfly it out so we get a better grill on it. Just something we like to do. You do you. Anyway, so after we're done and we're bagging it all, I'm going to put it in the freezer, and I just lay it all nice and flat. So you have lots of room, and then it'll freeze up. That's the one thing that I don't know we could do without is our residential fridge, because we have become accustomed to being able to shop ahead of time and really stock up on what we need. And it holds a lot, which is fantastic. Because I know there's a lot of people that cannot do that because they have smaller, so they have to shop more often. So we are very grateful for that. Okay, and that's it for our meal prepping, basically. Well, with the meats. It's kind of a labor of love because you do have to plan a day after shopping to kind of cut it all up and do whatever you're going to do with it, but it is well worth it. So stay tuned to see what meals we're going to be doing with a lot of the meat that we bought. I want to put that out there occasionally, what meals we make. So give you guys ideas, because I know when you guys give us ideas, it's fantastic. So.
All right. So we are back here at Apache Junction after a great week in Quartzsite, seeing everybody, meeting a lot of people, had a great time. So our spot here in Apache Junction, it's pretty much like a seasonal spot. We do pay month to month, but we have it reserved for the whole 5 months we're out here. And when we left, I was talking to the guys that work here and the staff, and we have a rug that we put over the top of the bricks here. And I said, hey, since we're just coming back in a week, can I leave the rug there? And he goes, yeah, it's your spot. Do what you want. And it was screwed down and bolted in to the ground, washers, big old long 6-inch screws, everything else. Everything was great. We pull back in today, and the carpet's gone. So we asked the front office, and they're like, oh, there was this big windstorm and blah, blah, blah. It could have blown away. We're not sure. So me and the guy that, the staff member that was parking us, we checked the spot to see if the screws were still on the ground. You know, I didn't want to run over them or anything like that. The screws, the washers, everything was gone. Then the staff is telling me, hey, now that I think about it, we raked and cleaned your spot while you were gone, and on Monday, and the carpet was gone. The rug was gone. So then it's got me thinking that somebody swiped it. So Lareka and I decided once we got the RV pretty much set up, we started walking around because as we pulled in, she thought she saw our rug in another spot. So sure enough, we go walking down a few spots from where we are, and lo and behold, there's our carpet, along with the bolts and washers screwing it into the ground. And the guy just sitting there. And I had been talking to him before we left, and I just, hey, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And I go, oh, this is where my carpet went. And he kind of gave me this look, and he goes, oh, is this yours? And I go, yeah. I go, and I told you we were coming back. Oh, I didn't remember, blah, 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 this and that. And he's sitting on his chair, sitting on the rug, and he goes, well, I'll get it back to you. And I looked at him, and I'm like, oh, I know you will. So here we are now, 20, 30 minutes later, still no rug. Me being a nice guy, I dealt with confrontation for a living. Don't really want to make a federal case out of it. I'm going to give it till tomorrow. And if by the end of the day today, nothing changes, I will be walking myself over there tomorrow, and we'll have another conversation. So stay tuned for the saga of the carpet. All right, saga of the rug. So that all happened Monday when we got back from quartzsite. On Tuesday, the next day, rug still wasn't back, but they were gone all day, and then we had some stuff to do in the evening, so we hadn't seen them, anything like that. Wednesday, we actually had a funeral to go to. We left early in the morning and didn't get back until late at night because it was on the other side of the valley. And when we got back later that night, sure enough, the rug was sitting here with the screws and the bolts laying on top of it and everything else. So, he brought it back, which is fine. I can't believe it took him 3 days to do it. Just the way some people are, I guess. But everything's back. All right, so when I went back and was watching the footage of what I just recorded about what happened to our rug, there's a few things I forgot to mention. First off, the guy that eventually stole our rug, he was actually parked next to us, right next to on our patio side. So the morning that I was packing up the outside, getting ready to leave for quartzsite, he was outside packing up all of his hoses and stuff, and we got to talking, and he said that he had to move several spots down because they extended their stay and reservations and things like that. So that's where this whole conversation that him and I had was, oh, are you leaving? And I said, no, we're just going to go to quartzsite for a week. We're actually going to leave the rug. I talked to the staff. So we had this whole conversation about how I was leaving the rug. And he was packing up and, all right, well, have a safe trip. And he even said, maybe we'll see you in quartzsite. My wife and I are thinking about going. So then they wound up moving. I honestly believe that as soon as we pulled out of the parking lot, he pulled our rug up and took it with him over to the new spot. So another thing is, the day when we got back from the funeral and our rug was sitting here all folded up on our patio, when we drove by later, he had a brand new rug on his spot. So he actually ordered himself a new carpet, new rug, and waited for it to show up before he brought ours back. Come on, who does things like that? It's just one of those crazy things that, I don't know, I've just never heard of something like this happening again. Lareka and I were astonished that somebody that I actually sat here and talked to, who was our neighbor for weeks, I can't believe that somebody would do something like that. There's RVs here in the park all the time. They leave for a weekend, they leave for a few days, they leave all their stuff, they come back, and there's never an issue. And this guy, as soon as I pull out, decides to take our rug, and then as soon as we tell him about it, he doesn't immediately oh, I'm sorry, I must have misunderstood you. No, okay, I'll get it back to you in a few days after I order my own. Come on, who does things like this? Lareka and I were talking about it. We honestly just can't believe something like this happened. It's so petty, but it's so crazy. Do us a favor, down in the comments, tell us, has anything like this ever happened to you? Have you had something taken from your RV park? Have you had something stolen from your RV site? What was it? Tell us the story and let us know. Make us feel a little better that's not just us.